Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Excuse my voice because I am sick right now, but I wanted to make a video talking about price caps on AMC because AMC is just a good stock to trade. I'm not investing in it anymore. Um, and I figure, if it's as liquid as SPY is, it might be worth studying the chart and understanding how the algorithm works. Um, in part, it is very liquid because there's just a lot of popularity. I would say, you could try and make the case about GameStop, but then you start getting into the whole DRS rabbit hole, and there's a huge following for that stock as well. But GameStop is extremely slow. AMC makes large moves both ways, very sporadically. GameStop, you have to nail it to profit big because the contracts are expensive. But weekly, near in the money calls, or I mean options on AMC are really nice for trading. So just quickly, this was yesterday, and just want to kind of get into my expectation. So you can see we have two gaps here. Gap heat. Well, I mean, there's like two in this area, right? And then there's one all the way on the right over here. So, in these kind of moments, actually, before that, was there any? Oh yeah, at the beginning of the day, from pre-market, there was a 1 minute gap left here. Now, I'm gonna say this: 1 minute gaps on AMC, they get filled pretty early. However, it's kind of like having a 13 when playing blackjack, right? If you're above 12 in blackjack, the odds are in your favor. Whether you if you have 12, it's best to just stay, right? Um, this just what it is, right? Um, when there are 1 minute gaps on AMC, the odds are in your favor to play around, to play that gap, the nearest one that is, right? It's very possible for price to just leave it behind. However, from what I've noticed is that those gaps eventually do get filled. I don't know if it's before a phase, like it sometimes this is basically what I'm talking about, right? Because if you go all the way back, just to kind of give you perspective. So, this is kind of what the stock looks like right now. I'm going to be going back, starting from where we're at currently. You can see we have a 1 minute gap from today, which I believe is going to get filled. And I'm playing that accordingly. So if we go all the way back to when this little bull run started, you can see we have a gap here at 784. And if you go all the way back to June during the meme era, you'll notice it's kind of hard to replicate on the desktop. You'll have to do it on the phone. But if you go back on the 1 minute, right? Or you could honestly, 1 minute, you could maybe bump up the time frame a little bit, right? If you go back before the run, like a couple of weeks before the run, you'll notice that the 1 minute gaps get filled before the next phase. So it's like, I don't know if this gap here is basically the key to begin the next phase or the next run, right? So it's like, um, I think that the gap left from this morning is going to get filled tomorrow, and then after that, I don't know how long it's going to take or what. But I would think that the next gap, right, is the 784, and then once that happens, maybe you can start to, you know, be bullish. It just feels like it would be bad for the stock. But I do see GameStop going down, and I am short-term bearish on SPY. However, there are a lot of possibilities right now. SPY kind of had a crazy, like 1% rally today. My bull case for SPY was to go up to 450 before coming down and running out a little markdown sequence to 393. Regardless, the bear scenario of SPY, if a crash starts tomorrow, next week, or next month, I do think that it will go down to 393, and then that's where the first bounce will be. If it continues to go down, whatever. But as it relates to AMC, I do think that um, we can expect these 1 minute gaps that I mentioned in the 7 and the 9 area to get filled. So, and in part, right, the whole reason why I brought this up was because when you're seeing these throughout the day, right, like they should just instantly kind of, if you're trading it, right, and you're watching it, they should kind of depress you, right, because it's just a waiting game because you know it's going to get filled, right? Like once this first one on the all the way on the left happened, once this one happened, I mean it's just like it goes up and it just means absolutely nothing until it finally gets filled, right? And the worst one was this one all the way on the right over here because that one didn't get filled until the beginning of today. And what happened after that got filled? Yes, it ran almost what, 12%, right? Look at that. Look at the bottom. Look at what happened before the run today, right? So it hits right at that area, runs, leaves this gap. I mean, you just already know it's coming down. I bought I bought puts around here. I don't remember exactly. I didn't expect for it to go, this cup and handle thing. Once I saw that, I was like, all right, right. I'll just hold until tomorrow. Um, could it continue to rip just like, it left the 1 minute gap down here? Sure. And it looks very similar to the June setup and the Jan setup. I think if it does come down to try and fill the 7.8, then kind of bad news bears. The 7.8 might be SPY 393, right? So I would like to see for AMC, if anyone's bullish, I would like to see something like this. And then you just kind of squeeze from there. Excuse me. Um, all right, so that would be kind of nice. I mean, that if you've looked at AMC long enough, you know that that looks very similar to every other squeeze in the past, like major squeeze, right? So it looks kind of good, but this is just obviously these 1 minute gaps allow you to come up with scalp ideas, and um, the 1 minute gap left here in the pre-market yesterday. I mean, you as soon as it's digging down, right? You can make a bet. It's scary because, it falls what? It falls 4% at open, and from the very low, it has to run 6% to fill it. Like anybody um, with good risk management knows that that's just not something that you would ever go big into, right? So, I mean, if you want to test this thing out, just look at it like you have a 12 in blackjack, or if you're really confident, something like 14 or 15, whatever. And you can make do, right? Like these gaps here, right? The 8 a.m. buy-in, or whatever, the 8 a.m. wick fill, I like to call it, because every morning at 8, it fills the gaps that I guess are important. Any gaps that it leaves are bound to get filled, because it's like, if this wick checks off all of these gaps, right? Like if we go to yesterday, right? The 8 a.m. buy-in was here, right? Why wouldn't it fill this 1 cent, right? What is it about that 1 cent? Excuse me. And it's because it's a trap. They do this all the time. The 8 a.m. buy-in here, right? What? I mean, it filled every gap here. Yeah, it proceeded to go low, but it left the gap when it dug low, right? Like, it had no reason. Like, if we look at the where this gap was made, right? Or I guess, like, it was made right on that buy-in wick, right? So, and it comes up and it gets filled, and then after that, that's a little sketchy, right? I wouldn't know what to do at that point, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's not so much of like it's just another tool, right? And I will always use these gaps as a great indicator of where the price will go in the short term. I have seen 1 minute gaps on SPY go unfilled for a week, right? It takes a very long time. Or sometimes it can't, but it's just, I think that the odds are in your favor if you play around them. And they can kind of be used to validate runs. If a run is valid or not. Like right here, this ain't valid, bro. Damn. Let's see. 924. Whoa, look at that. Oh wait, that wasn't it. Oh, look at that. Right? So eventually it got filled. You know what I'm saying? So many things. And it's also very important to know that this is only good for certain stocks that are very liquid. GameStop is not liquid. Okay, you can see all these 1 minute gaps. They are not telling. Do not use 1 minute gaps on GameStop, right? If anything, maybe like the 15, right? Like, I think this is gonna get filled soon. 5 minute, I don't really know. 5 minutes kind of sketchy. You got a lot of them. I do see GameStop squeezing. Just needs to consolidate more. MViz, which I like. Look at these 1 minute gaps. Right? Don't use 1 minute gaps on here. Same like, have common sense. Think outside the box. Understand that you are human and that this is an algorithm. Where is it? Blue chips, Google. I've talked about Google in the past. I love 1 minute gaps on Google. But the problem with that, did I perhaps take Google off of my list, or am I blind? There it is. Okay. Yep, I know. You see a lot of gaps here. They're gonna get filled probably by the 8 a.m. buy-in. Like, look at all these, right? All of these got filled. Look at that. All of them. Even, like, as many as there are here, they all get satisfied. I don't know what it is about Google. I really don't. But, like, this 1 minute gaps, I guarantee it. Like, all of this bullshit, it got checked. It got marked. Right? Even this guy right here, the 8 a.m. buy-in, check that one off. Right? This one down here, that's gonna get checked. I think it actually already did get checked. Yeah, right here from this drop, I checked it off. And it's just incredible. Like Webull is such a good chart program. I don't get it. All of these ones, you know what I mean? So Google's a very special stock, special little stock. And you could just go way back, and you can try and find the lowest 1 minute gap that you can on Google, and I can say for sure, right? If you took a short position and you maintain that forever, that price target will get hit. I know, that's crazy. Like, look, there's no 1 minute gaps popping up. You know, isn't that just weird? You know what I mean? It's really just fucking interesting. You can't do this on a lot of stocks. I've noticed this mostly with Google. Google, AMC, and SPY, but mostly the 1 minute gaps are on SPY that are important are like 1 cent gaps. Like, don't pay attention to the 1 minute gaps that are like 5 cents, you know? I think this is a pretty low one. 120? Ooh, 117. Dang, Google's gonna crash. I mean, not surprising. Everything's gonna crash. Yeah, long video. I'm just kind of chilling at this point, trying to see. I mean, I'm helping you all, honestly. I'm going all the way, but this is all the way back to June. Oh, 112. You got some moves to make, Google. Oh boy. Oh, wow. So, my conclusion for these gaps so far back that didn't get filled is that they were formed during a bull phase of the algorithm. So, like, if we go, so like now the price is going to start climbing, I assume, and it doesn't go below 103. Okay. Okay, it does. All right. So the bull phase started way back. So that means we should find another 1 minute gap here. Um, crazy how difficult it is. Right? This makes me feel more confident in the fact that the gap at like 102 was the beginning of a bull phase. Unless we just find some. Alright. Well, let's see. That was 183 there. Right, so the 1 minute gaps really started to pick up this point. Right, so just something to keep in mind. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. If the 1 minute gap holds true, I would like to see AMC dig down, as well as SPY, as well as GameStop, as well as pretty much everything on the market. Just a little dip, and I'll probably exit calls around the $9 mark. If it continues to fall, I'm not gonna chase. I'll just wait. And I don't know. I really do want to play calls because puts are kind of getting boring. I don't like being bearish. Even though it makes sense to be bearish, screw that. Trying to have fun out here. So it's kind of like getting dealt 18 over and over and over again. And blackjack, it's like, come on, man, give me something fun to play. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to see a bounce maybe right off of this 1 minute gap. That'd be kind of hard to play. Hopefully I can get out in time. Because yeah, that would give me the bull idea. If SPY goes down, tries to bounce off this trend again, probably gonna be the ultra bearish. I might chase this, you know. I will gladly chase this. I think that'll be fun. And then we'll see what happens from there. So either bounces off this and runs up to 450, or I guess maybe digs through it, comes up like that, and then digs down for a miniature crash sequence. That'd be interesting. So, a lot to think about. A lot to react to, and yeah, it should be fun. 23 minutes is not bad. So I wish you all the best of luck with trading, and until next time, peace.